those that are watching this, those have been cooped up a lot lately. I'm either indoors at work, which I don't show much of that here, or I'm indoors here for the most part. I'm only going outside to split wood or feed the chickens. So, it's a beautiful sunshiny day out. But unfortunately, when it's beautiful and sunshiny this time of year, it means it's really cold. So it's only about, I think like 8 degrees or something like that today. But it's awesome out. The wind's not too bad. So I'm going to see if I can't get the drone up and also show you a little bit more about downtown Midland. It's kind of an interesting place. All right, on the drive, we're going to do a quick little history of Midland. Originally kind of started in 1820, mostly as a place for fur trade and a little bit of lumber. And as the lumber took off more, it was officially established in 1855. And then realistically, things were starting to slow down until the big boom in 1897, when Dow started making, well, bleach for the most part. All right, actually the camera was giving me problems, and I really can't tell how well you can see this because you're against the door. But I love this Caprice wagon. My buddy's family had a blue one. Oh man, it's taking me back. See this guy around town from time to time, and I'm like, sell it to me. I don't really have the money for it. Yeah, but you know what, if he was selling it, I'd be very tempted to buy it. There it is, the tridge. So, it seems to be windier out here than it was at home, which is not surprising. I guess this is a good place to kind of torture test the drone. To be honest with you, I'm not really sure what wind it's designed for. For some odd reason, 18 miles an hour, 18 kilometers comes to mind. I'm not really sure why. But today, I'm not really sure, but the flag is definitely dancing up there, so it's got to be probably pretty close to that, if not more windier. So we'll take it up, see what happens. This is why I bought a slightly cheaper drone. But anyways, enough about that. Check out the tridge. So the tridge was originally built in 1981. It was recently kind of refurbished about 2017, I want to say. And it's kind of at the meeting place between the Chippewa and the Tittabawassee River come together to make the Saginaw River. This is the downtown area, which is not looking very good with my drone because of this wind, but we're going to do a little freezy frame here and give you kind of a lay of the land. Ashman is the road I came in on, the one-way, and Main Street is, well, Main Street. And the little flashing arrow back there is pointing at that big-ass church that we passed that's not too far away from my house, to kind of give you an idea of the distance of where we are. The big green roof building looks like a hospital, is not. It's actually a hotel. And this big green donut, which oddly matches the hotel, is originally was the farmer's market. So anywho, we're going to go for a little walkabout on this trail that's actually kind of decommissioned. Because not only is it maintained for like snow and stuff like that, it's actually fallen into the river. They used to have an overlook that completely fell in, and it's getting kind of sheer. But I'm sure this time of year it's not going anywhere. You know, I shouldn't really condone such things, but it's actually pretty good graffiti. Usually it's not that good around here. That's actually pretty nice. Oh, I'm a little sketched out if I want to go down to this thing. It's a little slippy. Now I could make up all the stories that I've been told about this thing. There's been a few different ones. That it was for factories, that was once here, that it was for unloading brine, it had something to do with mooring ships, which that one seems a bit much because it's not that deep of a river. But I really don't know what this was ever for. So let's stop and admire some of the artwork first. Really not that great. Oh god, hopefully I get up out of this thing pretty easy. Cool. But yeah, you can like see the out there, it's still really scary looking. Here it'd probably be alright. See where the river at one point in time had lifted up. That's some shelved ice. And there's some more brick ruins of whatever factory that used to, apparatus that used to be here. I got myself out of this situation. There's really a shelf right here, just getting myself back onto it. Oh, sweet choices. Only mildly sketchy. Gotta get back up of it. And like, this thing's pretty tall. I'm 5'11", so shy of 6 foot, probably with my boots on. So, pretty tall, whatever it was for. Easier this way. Evidently. Man, maybe showing that'll give you the concept of the angle. It was a thing. It's still not over with. Watch this fucking thing jumps through. Okay. So many vandals in this town. One of the reasons why this might be heavily vandalized is not just because it's where the cool kids come to do nefarious things. That looks scary going that way. I want to go over this thing. But it's also right by the local frisbee golf, which I think is actually paid for by the city or the county or something like that. Nonetheless. This kind of break off sheer cliff was, I believe, I could be getting it wrong, one of the overlooks that they put in years ago. It actually was still an overlook when we first moved here. So it's really slippy. I'm gonna actually get on this side of things. Yeah, I think that school bus kind of helps. That's M20 over there, which runs up to the next bigger city, which is Mount Pleasant, which is the Indian reservation. Everybody goes there for the casino. Lovely day. Nah, it's really nice to be. Tell you what, I really haven't went outside and went for just a walk. Gosh, it's kind of scary now I think about it. Sun's probably summertime. Yeah, it's been a minute. So either that was the original overlook or this. I can't really recall, because I do remember there was another weird sheer cliff area. This one's not quite as sketchy, but that could also, you know, lead you to bad places. Sketchy overlook here. So I'm gonna try to go on a surf. My mouth is getting a little tough to talk. So it's funny. You always thought it's really cool to feel like my chin just stiffens right up. My goatee is frozen solid. Anyway, I'm gonna probably turn back here in a minute. So I want to get to a safer spot, a lot closer to the ice, to just get some neat shots. So yeah, it's been nice getting out here though. So I think I mentioned frisbee golf earlier, if I put that in the edit. And if not, hey, they have frisbee golf right next to the riverbank. There's the riverbank right there, right above my finger. And here's a frisbee golf hole pin thing. I don't know, I forget what they call it exactly. I've only frisbee golfed like twice. So anyways, if you don't know what frisbee golf is, because I'm not going to need much help, but I do know that they take frisbees and they stand way over somewhere and they try to get them in here. If you want to know what frisbee golf is, that was very little help. Kind of see that one a little bit better. Some more kind of older ones going that way. Downtown Midland's known for deer. Tons of deer. So even though you're kind of in the heart of town, look out for deer. So that's another kind of cool thing that Midland has. Not just Midland, because it starts in Midland, and I forget, actually I think originally the rail trail, I guess I should say, is a trail that was once an old railroad line. Very hard to talk about this call. Another old rail line that went from here all the way up to Canada, I was told. I'm not really sure. I'd have to look it up. Maybe I will put some information here on the screen. But it starts here and it's very well paved, and I want to say it's really well paved, oh my god, it's hard to talk, all the way up to Clare, which is about 30 miles away. So it's kind of a neat thing. If you're big into bicycling, it's kind of cool because you don't have to worry about getting hit by cars and you can really just keep going. Most of it's very well paved. Some gets a little nah. Yeah, and this big green donut was originally the farmer's market, which now has moved to the parking lot of the Dow Diamond, which, whatever. I don't know why they don't use this for anything. I personally think they should turn it into an artist market. That's my thought on things. And now off to our next location. So part of me doing this video kind of thing I'm doing right now, it's kind of a journal thing to kind of preserve the past as we move into the present. And I'm not one that doesn't want progression, because progression is going to happen, and that's why I'm trying to preserve the past. So if that makes sense. But certain things don't always have to change. Like this truck, for instance, is probably the pinnacle best truck engine design ever. Didn't have to change much of it, but of course with engine emissions things had to change. And that's how you get this thing. That my truck will last you probably 1,000,000 miles. This thing will last you, I don't know, like maybe 5-10 years, depending on like what kind of weather and stuff that it's living in. But anyways, this is actually kind of day 3 from where we started this set. So we went out floating the drone, a windy, cold day. Then it got kind of warmer and cloudy, and now it's sunny. Anyways, it's supposed to drop down to negative 15 in the next 2 days. And even tonight I think it's supposed to drop down to negative 4. But this is what we're here for today. Now what's interesting about this particular structure, it's just recently built. They opened it just a few months ago. This is actually the first time I've ever been on it. And I was going to bring the drone down here, but the wind's even worse today than it was yesterday, so I didn't want to take that risk. You probably ain't going to see it. I should have brought the Canon. I always had those big games. But way off in the distance, I might be able to get a better shot of it when I do post. There's the tridge. So realistically, I'm going to say probably within 2 miles of the tridge is this thing, which in itself is pretty cool. Definitely way different engineering. I wonder if that means in the future they're going to get rid of the tridge, because they recently revamped it and they're already having issues with it. I don't know what the issues are. But this is a way different animal than the tridge. It pretty much gets you to the same location as the tridge does, except the skate park that nobody likes anyways. Alright, so I'm not going to go over there because it's really cool at other plans, but that big building over there, that's the Dow Diamond. That's the like a farmer league for the LA Dodgers. But that hill going down to the river, that's actually the area I love fishing. I pull out all sorts of goodies all over there. Anything from crappie to perch, bass, actually kind of a lot of bass. And there's like a drainage area over there. The bigger one's harder to get to, but you can get to it. That's where you get the crappie from. But the smaller one is where you kind of cast out, and you also can get like sheephead off over there. And it's my favorite place to go fishing. It's upstream of the chemical company, so you know the fish can't be too scary. I don't usually eat them anyways, but it's a good spot for fishing. Right here in the middle of the city, technically. It's weird because Midland, even though it's got $1 billion operation like Dow, it's a really small town. With their research, and it's like 47,000 people or something like that, or less than 50,000 people in this city, quote unquote, which isn't very many, not at all. And I forget how it is in total in the county, but it's, even entire county is not very many. The surrounding towns are very, very small. So we're actually just a short walk from the Poseyville pedestrian bridge, or whatever they're calling it. I already forget. Now we're underneath the actually Poseyville bridge, car bridge. There's actually not a bad spot for fishing down there as well. You got this big mural. There's actually another one on the overpass on the other side of the main street. I just don't know if I'm going to go that far today because it is really windy. There's also a big mural on the side of Ace Hardware, which this Ace is the place. You can get anything from your hardware to a soda pop to a gun or some donuts. We got a rocking horse up there in the window. It's really interesting glass too. Details like the upside down pyramids on the other side of the entrance. kind of interesting. I don't really know a whole lot about the Oddfellows. I do know they're kind of one of those, I don't say secret societies, I don't really know what else to call them, but kind of like the Freemasons, which we'll get more to those in a moment. So yeah, this was the very first large building constructed in downtown. It's not technically on Main Street. It's actually addressed as 116 Broad. And now we're on, can't talk, it's so cold. They are now renovating the building, and I'm assuming to keep it very much like the way it was, but I'm not really sure. So even though I never was inside it to see what it was like originally, it'll be interesting to see what it's like when it's done. So 333 Main is kind of a newer Art Deco bank building. It's usually a bank. It's been closed for a minute now. What's always kind of cool is this is the old entrance to the original building. It's been changed many, many times. And it's kind of an open breezeway that has this connected kind of bridge. Kind of cool. So this is the second building, the second building to be built in downtown. And it was kind of a series of other buildings that was part of this bank block. If I'm understanding things, I have to admit, I just read this really quickly on Wikipedia, so I'm probably wrong about a lot of things. But this is definitely one of the older historical buildings of downtown. Last occupied by Oscars, which was a pretty popular bar. I'm not really sure why they closed. A lot of the building up top there, I believe, are rentals for people to live in, like apartment style rentals. But what's kind of interesting about this building, their mural just went up recently, it's a pretty nice one, is this is also the location of the Masonic Hall, meeting space, whatever. I don't know what they really call these. I am not a Freemason, and hopefully they're not mad at me for showing this. But yeah, it's kind of a weird location because it's still part of this OG building, and it's kind of tucked back here in this alleyway. And I know the lower area was part of the bar because Marie actually got hauled out of here once when she was in her 20s, which is kind of funny. But there is an access door there, so I have no idea. And really, I don't need to know, but I always find that kind of interesting. This town has the Oddfellows and the Freemasons were the first ones setting up shop down here, along with the bankers. So, needless to say, this is a very interesting connected town. There's kind of an extreme to this a little bit. So this has been obviously the courthouse since the town, really. So there's everything around it kind of grows around it. So the first thing that kind of grew up around it is what you kind of see through the trees, the Santa house. I don't know if the glockenspiel works anymore. No one knows how to work on them anymore. I know the one in Franken Removed is also dead because they can't find anyone to fix them. There's the Santa house. Right next to the courthouse. And then the big building, well, not the really tall one, but the one in the foreground with the green roof. It kind of looks like a hospital. That's also a really posh hotel and restaurant thing, right? Right next to the courthouse. Turn around, the courthouse looks pretty cool. I like the stylizing and everything, but it's just kind of interesting of all the things that grew up around it.
Midland is a wonderful city located in Michigan. Oh yeah, such a nice place to spend your time, Midland, Michigan. What a wonderful city. What a fabulous place to spend all your time. Midland is a wonderful community. Oh yeah, Midland. What a fine area. It's got a lot of nice houses. It's got good buildings. It's got a good school system. It teaches the children. It's got the Midland Center for the Arts as well. There's so many nice things about Midland, I'm not gonna get to all of them. So you should really go to Midland and check it out yourself. So many nice neighborhoods, some great public parks. Midland, such a nice area. It's got a lot of nice stores where you can go shopping. Oh yeah! Support the local economy of Midland, Michigan.